Welcome back, everyone. OpenLine, talking all about metro schools. We have with us the person that is in charge of transportation, Chief Operating Officer Fred Carr, also Assistant Manager of Customer Service at the Customer Service Center, Susan York, answering your calls. We have several people on the line. Let's go to the phones. Hello, Paul.
Yes.
Hi, what's on your mind?
All right, sir. Well, is it true that Metro bus drivers are employed for less than 40 hours per week?
Okay. What about that?
Is that true?
There is a 7-hour a day, 35-hour week minimum. But right now, I don't know that we have any drivers working that 35-hour week. So while the minimum is 35 hours, I don't know anybody that's doing it, particularly now because of the shortage. And that's one of the things that we're hearing from drivers is they need 40 hours. They need to qualify for a home loan and that sort of thing. They need 40 hours. So that's one of the things that we're hearing is I need 40 hours.
Does that mean if they're not 40 hours that there are no benefits? Are there benefits?
No, there's full benefit package that every Metro employee, not school system employee, but every Metro employee, same benefit package that Metro employees get, our support employees, bus drivers get.
Would there be that would be a change that would cost money, right? If we go from 35 to 40 to meet that, or not. Am I wrong about that? If we were to make that change, what would that mean?
Right now, it wouldn't make a difference because they're working that now. So what we need to do is to figure out how can we ensure that everybody gets 40 hours. If you're at 35 hours and you need a field trip to hit 40, then we need to be able to assign that field trip to you so that you can hit 40. And we get that. That's one of the things that this little task force has got to kind of figure out, and that's one of the things that we've been hearing from our drivers in our meetings is we need 8 hours a day. We need a 40-hour week.
All right, Paul, does that answer your question?
I think that's so, and I think that's only being fair to them. They've been a little mistreated here in the last couple of years, and I just think they need to be given, be given their benefits package as well as an increase in salary, because it's just not going to. They just can't make ends meet if they don't.
That's right.
If they don't have this advantage.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Paul. Several other calls. Let's just keep going. Alice. Hello, Alice. Alice, are you there?
Yes.
Go right ahead.
Okay, I'm calling about, y'all talking about the bus drivers. What about the bus monitors?
The monitors on the buses?
Yes. What about the bus monitors? Do they get paid the same amount? I mean, we're on the same time they on the bus.
Okay.
That's right, and a couple of answers to that. We've heard from some bus monitors because last week we announced to our drivers that we are giving them a $300 retention incentive, just to say thank you for running these double routes. We want you to stay. We're listening to you to see what the issues are. This $300 retention bonus is to let you know we're serious and we're going to move fast, because we moved fast on that after fall break when we lost 10 drivers during fall break. So that was kind of a real, okay, this is going to require swift action. So we want our drivers to know that. The monitors are highly valued employees, mostly, but not always. Monitors work with our special ed kids and our wheelchair kids and those kids that require special care on the bus, and they are really important. At this point, our crisis is with bus drivers. And so what we're doing is encouraging our bus monitors, if you want to become a driver, we'll train you to become a driver. And it is a step up in pay. And when we look at this total compensation, obviously the monitors and the other transportation employees will be a part of this view. But right now the focus is mostly on drivers because that's where our need is. So the monitors will be a part of the bigger view. Right now we're listening to our drivers because that's who we're losing. It's a different skill set being a driver and a monitor. And we want to encourage our monitors that want to be drivers, that want to earn that additional income. Will help you be drivers because we need drivers, and we need drivers that are familiar with the buses, familiar with the kids, and so it would be a really good step for a monitor to become a driver.
And Susan, at the Customer Service Center, people call in with questions. How many of the questions that you're getting, how often are you getting questions that deal with this issue?
We get questions every morning and every afternoon. So for anyone who doesn't know, we do offer a service starting at 6:30 a.m. every school day that you can call in. Parents, even high school students at the bus stop can call in. If the bus is not running as scheduled or it's 10 minutes or more late, call in and we will work with our dispatchers to get you an estimated time of arrival for today.
And you can do that because?
We can do that because our dispatchers work very closely with us. We have an instant messaging system where we can take the exact bus stop that you're waiting at. We can send a message over to our dispatcher and they'll let us know exactly how far away they are from that stop.
Okay. All right, let's go back here to Janice. Hello, Janice.
Yes, this is Janice.
Hi, go right ahead.
I was a bus driver, and I know how the bus drivers feel, and they feel pretty dadgum bad because we were making $8 hours a day, and now they're giving us 7 hours a day. You know what? Not just that. They're doing 4 and 5 routes a day. You're getting on the bus at 5:30 a.m. and then at 9 o'clock, you ain't had a potty break. All you do is drive and take care of children, and you're not just a nurse. You are a mother, a daddy, a teacher, and a driver too. You babysit while you're driving. I
bet. Okay, let's talk about some of that. So there's some frustration. An earlier caller said it's been tough on bus drivers lately. What do you say about what she's saying?
Two things, I guess. One, the 7 hour day is a 7 hour minimum. So if you work 10 hours, you get paid for 10 hours, not 7. There's been a little bit of misconception about that. We are under the Fair Labor Standards Act, and so we have to track everyone's time basically in 15-minute increments throughout the day. So if you're running a double or a triple that causes you to work past your normal time, then you're paid for that because you're on the clock. If you have to take your bus in for service, you're on the clock. If you have to drive to the transportation office to turn in paperwork, and that's part of the business, you're on the clock. So bus drivers are paid for that. So the 7 hour day is a minimum. So the issue is a number of years ago, it's been 4 years ago, there was a change, and it was a budgetary change where drivers used to earn 8 hours a day. And for that 8 hours a day, everything was included. So if you had to go take your paperwork in, if you had to stay at a school and meet with a parent, whatever you did, you didn't keep track of your time, you just got 8 hours. Well, we can't do that. We have to, based upon Fair Labor Standards Act, we have to know how much everybody works. So what we found out was we had a number of drivers that were working 32 and 35 hours a week, but being paid for 40. So as administrators, we're accountable to taxpayers who pay us and the drivers. So we had to say, okay, we're going to a 35-hour minimum week instead of a 40. But if you want 40, we'll find you 5 more hours during the week to do that. And we'll pay you for taking in the paperwork, taking your bus in for service or for repairs or washing your bus or that kind of thing. We'll pay you for all of that. So it's a different mindset in the last 4 years. It used to be you got paid 40 hours a week no matter what you worked. But
even if you worked overtime?
Even if you worked overtime. And so we can't do that. We're not going to do that. We're going to be legal. We're going to meet our obligations to our employees, and the taxpayers. So what we've got to figure out how to do is to get drivers their hour back, to get them to 40, but we need them not to expect to work 32 and be paid for 40. So that's what we're trying to figure out. How do we do this so that it's fair to the taxpayer who's paying the bill and fair to the bus drivers who are driving the kids safely to school? So we're looking at some other things that we've got to get the details on, but things that will help the drivers with their income and help the kids. So an example of that would be like an attendance incentive or bonus. So if you have perfect attendance for a 9-week quarter, we give you a cash bonus on your check for being there every day. Mm-hmm. And that helps the driver, but it helps the kids to have their driver there every day. So we're looking at things like that. That's a win-win for particularly the kids who need to be at school on time and get there safely, and our drivers who are responsible for doing that. So we've got some creative thinking that we need to do.
Okay, interesting. All right, we have to take a break. If you want to call, here's the number, 615-737-7587, 615-737-PLUS. Take a break. Be back. We're right after this.